Hello, this is the signs for I have a shelter in the storm. Remember, I'm left-handed, so mirror image me if you're right-handed. All right, so here we go. I have a shelter in the storm. I have, this is have as in a possessive have. You wouldn't use this as a helping verb. But I have a shelter. So for shelter, I have a hand here, and this hand comes in front like a shield. This would also be shield, shelter. We're going to use it for refuge later in the song as well. Shelter. So this is blocking, shielding, protecting. Okay. I have a shelter in. You can leave out in if you want to. In the storm. So here's a storm. This is wind blowing real fast. Storm. When, remember our when, the timeline, and it's right there on the timeline. When. Troubles, so you take a B, two B's actually, and you come in front of your face like, oh, I've got all these troubles right there. If you do W's, that's like worry or anxiety, same kind of motion. So troubles, all these troubles. For pour upon, we're going to do overwhelm. So overwhelm is like this. It's like coming over you. It's overwhelming you. It's just, overwhelm. And you can say me or not if you want in this particular instance. So overwhelm me. Though fears are rising like a flood. For though, I always use doesn't matter. So this is, it doesn't matter. So the fears are rising like a flood. It doesn't matter. Fears are rising like a flood. That's basically what I'm saying here. Though fears, we've had that before. Fears are rising like, this is like or as. In fact, a brother or sister, a brother is a male who's like you, and a sister is a female who's like you. So this is like or as. Okay, so rising like a flood. So flood is water and then rising. And you might do, to save time, I kind of rise it while I have my water up there. So, you might see it like this with the water rising. So water rising like a flood. My soul can, I probably would leave out can in this case. You can put it in if you want to. Rest is similar to love. Remember, love is like this. Rest has the open palms. So rest securely. So for securely, I'm going to, again, do this, kind of like shelter. I can rest securely because I am being taken care of. Or you could do safely. You could rest safely that way if you wanted to. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Remember, Jesus is the middle finger, palm prints from the crucifixion. I would skip the will. Hide, we've had that hide before. In you. My place of peace and solace. My, remember my. Place, you take a P and you make this area. In fact, area would be with an A, like that. You could do island with an I, like that. So, but this is a place. My place of peace. Remember, peace is two signs put together. It's become quiet. That means peace. Become quiet. Peace. So it's my place of peace. And for solace, we're doing comfort. So comfort is you come across your fingers and then you do it with the other hand like that. Comfort. And you could say comforter, like the Holy Spirit is the comforter, comforter. Okay? So remember, we're learning some related signs here. So you can add an ER to a lot of different words and get a person. It's like that. So comfort is what we're doing in this song. Okay. No trial is deeper than your love. So this is no or none, as opposed to the yes, no. You wouldn't want to do that kind of no. This is like no or none. Um, no trial. For trial, you take your fingers like this and you bump them against each other. And it's like, oh, that's a trial. No trial. And that's not like a court trial. That's like a tribulation type trial. Okay. No trial is deeper, so you point down for deep, is deeper than your love. So you can leave out the than if you want. This is what I've always done for than your love. You could leave out the that. This is that. It's a Y coming down in your hand. But you could leave that out. Comforts, we just learned that, used it for solace. So comforts, all my, for sorrows, your face is dropping and your hands drop with it. So, you really must look sad as you do this. You can't be sorrow that way. Okay, sorrow. Okay, so that's no trial is deeper than your love that comforts all my sorrows. I have a shelter in the storm. I have a shelter in the storm. When, remember we have that when again, when all my sins, for accuse me, we're doing blame. And the blame sign points in the direction of who's being blamed. So if I'm blaming you, I'm brushing that blame off on you. If you want to blame God, which don't do that, you could do this way. But if it's you being blamed, you point it towards you. So that's why you don't have to say the me, because this takes care of that. All my sins accuse me or blame me. Okay. Though justice charges me with guilt. So again, it doesn't matter that justice, remember you have your, this is a sign for if, and when you put it out here and go slower, it's the scales of justice. Justice charges me, again we're doing that blame, charges me with, for guilt, you take a G and tap at least twice. 2 times is sufficient. And then your grace will not refuse me. Your grace, take that G and come down like this. Grace will not refuse me. Oh, Jesus, I will hide in you. Oh, Jesus, I will hide in you, who bore, this is, remember, bear or burden, bore my condemnation. You take a C and do this. Remember, this is like discipline. You can do an H for hell. So a C is what I use for condemnation. Some people don't initialize, they just do this for everything. So that's up to you. My condemnation. I find, you don't have to put the hand here. You kind of find something, pick it up with an F. I usually find it in my hand, but many people just do it without that hand. Okay, I find my refuge. Again, that's the shelter, same refuge. In your wounds, in your wounds. He had wounds everywhere, but remember the spear was in his side. You can do the wounds wherever you want to. Remember we learned the sign for hurt or wounds last week. Your wounds. Okay, 4. You could leave that out if you want. There, it's just over there, or you can do there, up, you can point upwards, or you can just do it there. I find salvation. It's the same as the word for saved. So you have your S's and you're bound, and then open it up, salvation. Okay? I have a shelter in the storm when constant winds would break me. So I have a shelter in, you could leave out, storm. There's our when again, when, the timeline, when. Constant, this is continuous or constant, steadfast. Um, it's just your two thumbs put together and you push them forward. Okay, and once is enough, but you can do more if you want to, depending on the song and the music and what have you. When constant winds would break, so you put your fist together and you break it. It's like you're breaking spaghetti or whatever. Of course, if you're an Italian, you don't break spaghetti, right? So break me. Okay, for in my weakness, for you can leave that out. In my, for weakness, you have this and it's like all these legs. I think of it like a spider falling down. He's weak. So weakness. Weakness. All those legs are weak in my weakness. I have learned. Now this is where you don't do the sign for have because that's a helping verb for learn. So you would just say I learned. So you take this knowledge from your hand and you put it in your head. So learn. Okay. Your strength will not. So forsake is you put your fingers like on your collarbone or under your collarbone and then come out like that. Forsake. And it's like you're pushing away. I'm forsaking you, you know, like, ugh. Forsake. All right, so let's see. Well, forsake me. So for in my weakness, I have learned your strength will not forsake me. Oh, Jesus, I will hide in you. We've done this already. I will hide in you, the one who bears my burdens. Bear and burden is the same sign. Ours would be responsibility, just as a related word. Okay. With faithful, so you touch your forehead, you have an F here, and you come down with another F, and then do it again. So touch, faithful, faithful, faithful. Hands, hands plural, so you touch each one at the base of your palm. That cannot fail. That you can do or not. For cannot, that's can't. So you put one finger here and the other comes down like that. Can't. I can't. Cannot or can't. Can't. For fail, remember our stand and our lay down. For some reason, fail is like a person laying down and they fall off the bed like that. Fail. They failed. They fell off. Fail. And that's different than fall, which is you're standing and then you toss over like that. That's fall. Fail is laying down and falling off like that. Fail. You cannot fail. You'll, as God, bring me home to heaven. Home is a place where you eat and sleep. So home to heaven. Okay, you could skip the home and just say, bring me to heaven. But since the song says home to heaven, I'll probably do that. Okay, and then it repeats, oh, Jesus, I will hide in you, the one who bears my burdens with faithful hands that cannot fail. You'll bring me home to heaven. Okay, and I need to quit because if I go over 15 minutes, I can't upload it. Bye.